25 games for this, and let's just get started. The last episode I was cut short and only played about 20 minutes, and I was up 10, so counts as a winner. So far I've got all winning sessions, and then I've got 2 losing sessions, so not bad. And I'm trying to think what happened. Oh, I won a hand with pocket tens right at the ending last time, even though I lost kind of a bigger pot with ace king to ace queen. But overall, it was a decent session. Nothing really happened one way or another. And my buddy Sam is bitching at me to keep uploading these, so I guess I have to make them first. So here we go. And another commenter who watches the videos and a subscriber wants me to sit around and wait in the big blind. And I'm going to do that, Jake. Don't worry. I'm going to do that. But I just want to kind of get some winning under my belt again, because it feels like I'm a little bit behind from where I normally am when I'm trying to do this. I mean, this is the first time I've recorded it, but I should be up a little bit more. And I realize it's only been 8 hours of actually playing, and I'm up 200 or 16. I think it's about 8 total hours of playing, and I'm up 200. So that's not bad, but it feels like I should be doing better. So I'm going to just keep on trying to win. Let's take a look at the time. It's 10:15 at night on a Tuesday. So let's hope these guys are drunk. Let me turn the sound up. So, let me just double check that I'm recording. Yep, I'm recording. Here we go. Try to make some money. Like this one, I'll wait. I want somebody else to get in there. Oh well. You watch him fold. Come on, buddy, don't fold. Maybe I should have re-raised smaller. Let me see if I can get some sound going. Oops. Feels like, I'll worry about this later. Oops, what am I doing? Here we go. Well, it's got to be a good flop, so I'm going to bet. The thing is if he goes all in or something, can't imagine him having an 8. Well, that's not a good card at all. I think I'm going to get my free. I'm going to go for a free card. You know what? I mean, what is he calling with? I'm just going to check it back. If he checks it again, once that spade peels off, it's just most of the time people will check raise with a spade draw in that spot, but because he's short, that's not necessarily true. The flop was great, but when he just calls on that flop, he doesn't go all in. That means that, for a certain extent, he knows that I know that turn changes everything. So when that turn comes out, and if I'm betting that flop, and that turn changes everything, now all of a sudden that bet doesn't look quite as strong, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, I guess I could have bet it again, but I was beat. No matter how you talk about it. These guys always limp in with 10 jack. But I'm definitely going to bet it. And if this turn doesn't change much, I'm going to bet it again. man, look at these guys. See, you only see this at night when people are going nuts. People love peeling out of the blinds with king, queen, king, jack, king, 10, queen, jack, all those types. 10, jack, but 10, jack, queen, jack, those hands I have beat, and he's going to be calling. So I still have those hands beat. 10, jack, queen, jack, those types of hands I'm still beating. So let's charge him for it and just hope he doesn't have a king. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, and he folded. See, there's one that I could possibly wait. Well, if I would have known that I got folded down to the small blind and I had ace nine, I would have played it. But why even wait? Oh, last episode I mentioned how I was going to be playing these suited kings as my starting hands because I watched a video where this guy that obviously had a bunch of views and kind of knew what he was doing, or appears like he knows what he's doing, put it in his starting hands. So I'm going to try to work those into. And don't worry, Jake, I will wait around in the big blind soon, just not right now. But I will say, back in 2010, when these rush games were first invented, it was on poker on Full Tilt. It was in 2010, and I was playing then, and back then I had, Poker Tracker or whatever the software was that kept track of all your hands. Oh no, actually I didn't have Poker Tracker. I gave my stats to somebody that did, but nonetheless, I had 250,000 hands playing 1-2 rush at the very beginning of rush, and it was pretty easy, and I was winning, and so I was like, hey dude, you got to check out my stats. I'm going to give you all these hands, see what it says. And me and almost everybody else, no matter how good or bad they were, everybody was down more money from the blinds than if they just folded the blinds anyway. So everybody was down anyway because they're losing money putting in the blinds. But they were down more than if they just folded every single time. And we're talking even the best players were down more than if they just folded from the blinds every time. And I was one of them. I remember thinking, for some reason, I remember the number being like, I was down like 24,000 or something from the big blind over a bunch of hands, tons of them. And if I didn't even play any blinds, it would have been like 13,000. Or anyway, the numbers were there. So I saw those stats. You know what? I'm going to bet this because this guy doesn't necessarily have an ace. Anyway, I saw stats that just showed that maybe we shouldn't be playing. This guy might have queen 10 or one of those hands. I'm going to try to get him to fold. And if he has ace jack, he doesn't want to call on a split. Yep, and he's got me beat with an ace. So I'm going to fold. Damn it. Anyway, so I saw a bunch of hands of a bunch of people playing in rush on Full Tilt, and everybody was losing from the blinds, no matter how good or bad they were. And so I'm just kind of working that into it. I know for sure that other guy was going to call. So it would have been that was right on the edge of being a call or a fold. But here's the thing: if you're calling and you have to hit your set to continue, like that guy's not doing that very light. He's not four betting there very light. If you have to hit your set to continue, then you probably shouldn't be calling anyway. The fact that I was in position, um, the fact that I was in position would have made it more of a call. But I'm not going to waste $2 trying to get a 9. And ace high is not the worst here. I'm just going to min bet this because he probably timed out. Watch. See, look at that. You can get free money. And my hand was probably the best anyway. On the hand before, when I had king queen and it was a multi-way pot, it came down ace queen 8 or ace king 8. I bet very, very, very small on that flop. So when that turn card comes out, I can't just assume that he has the ace and that's all he has. He very well could have the ace like he did, but because I bet so small, I kind of forced myself into second barreling that turn, because if he does have any kind of a draw and that turn comes out, he's insta-folding because now he could be drawing dead. So that I didn't have to. The reason I second barrel that was because I didn't define his hand at all with that small bet on the flop. He could have been floating with almost anything. It just so happened that he did have the ace that time. Let's say that I bet 3 into that flop. Something more significant, where a guy has a king now has to call the second. He's not going to call the second pair or with a gut shot or something with 2 hands behind him. Now all of a sudden, when that turn comes out, I don't necessarily have to second barrel because he's more defined the type of hand that he has. But I still think that is a bet again on that turn. Ooh, and I got kings. I don't know what these people limp in with all the time. It is just crazy. Oh, God. Limp min re-raise. Let's just hope this comes down ace high. Watch him min raise me again. If he checks it, all right, he cannot have aces. He cannot have aces. So I'm just going to go all in. Man. More often than not, when they limp raise like that, they do have aces. But if they limp raise and they have aces and that flop comes down, they don't check it too often, but they do. They don't check it 3 times in a row. That flop is perfect. That turn is perfect. We would have known by then. But, I mean, I don't know what the heck he was doing. He must have been, he could have been scared I had aces. When he limp min re-raises me like that, making it $5, I think it's a 100% call all the time because he's going to have aces a lot. and if I re-raise, then I'm just kind of just giving away the strength of my hand, and it just takes away the playability of kings in that spot when I kind of know what he could have. When you might know what somebody has, like he probably has aces there, you don't want to then not take advantage of your ability to outplay somebody if you know what they have, or if you probably know what they have. So I decided to call. Jackasses just love limping in. Doesn't matter what year it is. It's 2000. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to bet this, but I'm just gonna make it something that he can't fold, like 50 cents. Make it something that he can't really fold. Maybe he'll. I mean, who knows what he has? I'm just gonna vomit. He can't have a queen. Maybe he has a queen. They love limping in with those types of hands. Absolutely love it. But that time I got stacked. That just would have been so awesome if I checked that one back. And I would have lost like no money. I mean, what is he calling me with? Man. Oh well. When he goes all in, I could fold, but he's not bluffing. Yes, he could be bluffing. How much was that hand? It was 35. So I lost 35. So that means I lost like 18 on a pot where I only had $1 in. So if you're thinking about your stack to pot ratio, that's not awesome. And I should have the best hand here. He min raised, he called it. Nope, I'm folding. Dang it. Min raised under the gun. Call the 3-bet. One click min raised my bet on a jack high flop. That's a fold. Even though I don't want to. But that guy with the queen jack on the queen 8 flop. Good for him. What's crazy was when I bet that with the queen 8 board. Right as soon as I bet it, I thought, I don't have to be doing this. I mean, and 10 drag, queen drag, those are the types of hands that they limp in with. A queen high, I'll be a little bit worried. I'm going to bet this and then check raise him on the turn. So I might be able to get him to fold. If he called me with an 8 or 10s or something like that, he might call me again, or he very well might have king queen and just call. But we'll see what he does. And he folded. I could possibly get him to fold a better queen if I check raise him on that turn and he just want to put his whole stack at risk, but he checked it back. I might be able to get him to call with like a queen or a king of clubs, and then check call him on the river for value when he tries to bluff me. Because when he checks back that flop, I know that he doesn't have a pair. So if he does have a club and willing to just call one for his overs of his club, and it breaks and it's another brick on the board, and he's on the river, he might bluff me. No, that's just not a good flop. Even though you probably had a combo draw. Love leading with the combo draws. flop, and I'm going to bet $1. Let's hope he calls with like a king queen, maybe a king jack, if he does have a pair and a flush draw, like with a jack, he's going to call this no matter what. So I'm going to bet $2.75. I'm pretty sure I gotta bet this for value. Well, that was just kind of annoying. When he calls those two streets, like, he's going to have an ace more than he has a flush draw. So I still think that's a bet. He's going to call that with a worse ace. He likes his hand enough to call twice. But man, this session has not been going good so far. Let's hope I can turn it around in the last couple minutes. I'm going to go all in just hoping that I can get him to fold. A lot of times they just call there because they just want to have some fun. I might call with a lower pair. All right, let's try to double up in the next 2 minutes. So this might help. All right, well, any hand other than ace king, he doesn't like it. So I'm going to bet it. But he might have ace king. Because he wouldn't be 4-betting ace king. Yep. I am definitely beat. 10. I guess he could have had a flush draw. Even if that guy had a spade draw, I'm still probably not winning, so might as well fold. Oh, this might help. Re-raise. Ooh, that's a good flop. No, I'll take a call, or I'll take anything. Damn it. All right, well, it's been a half an hour, and I was down 35 on this session, and it was flopped a boat and bet on a river when I definitely didn't have to, and went all in, and I guess I didn't have to call. It's pretty obvious at that point, but still I got unlucky. And then the other hand was ace queen versus ace king on an ace high board when I bet on the river. But man, that is pretty annoying. But until next time, let's hope I win. I was down 35. That was, I think, my biggest losing session, if not tied for it. So that's super annoying. All right, later, guys.